Welcome once again to the Quintilian Institute of Words About Words. It's been a while, but as you may remember, our last report was a bit, shall we say, distressing. Needless to say, the responsible parties were quickly and thoroughly encouraged to seek employment elsewhere, and we're happy to report that they have mostly all found adequate positions at Kaputko International. However, I'm personally even happier to announce that in the intervening time, I've managed to learn to look back on that dark period of our history with something like a smile. I've even managed to find the strength to write a haiku about that closing scene which, for a long time, haunted my dreams. And for our shared edification, I'll recite it now. It's called simply Candlelight. Flickering despair, institute in ruins. Now, the interns must go. Normally, we would ask you to hold your applause until the end, but if the urge to celebrate suddenly overtook you, please don't feel the need to restrain it. We're happy to wait. Well, anyway, while the applause dies down, not only is this small but mighty haiku a moving demonstration of someone overcoming a personal defeat, but it's also a stunning example of our latest rediscovery, which has been brought to us by the most competent and compliant of the senior researchers who have remained with the Institute through its darkest days. Of course, that word about words of which we speak today is ekphrasis. Now, ekphrasis is built from two Greek bits that mean out and to speak, much as I did when I blew the whistle on the shameful corruption at the lowest reaches of the Institute. Ekphrasis originally found its expression in the basic program of rhetorical training, where it referred to the exercise of description. That is, ancient students of rhetoric were tasked with describing something, an action, a place, a time, a person, as vividly and specifically as possible, so as to bring that thing to life before the audience. It was an opportunity to practice precision of diction, exactness of observation, and, of course, all the grandiloquence your little heart could muster. However, ekphrasis developed a more specific meaning over time, and though it has roots in describing any old thing, it is now understood to refer specifically to works of art that describe other works of art. And that, of course, is where the haiku Candlelight comes into play, though we must acknowledge that the closing scene of our last report did involve an actual man with actual feelings. We also can't deny the cinematic and lyrical achievement that it was. To write a haiku that draws its inspiration from describing that work of art, then, is to write an ekphrastic haiku. And ekphrastic poetry can be found from antiquity to the present day, from sections of Homer's Iliad to Keats's Ode on a Grecian Urn, William Carlos Williams' landscape with the Fall of Icarus, and even Kay Ryan's delightful piece Outsider Art. As you know, all Quintilian Institute media releases are distributed in collaboration with the Writing with Andrew show. We are grateful for their generosity and also for this statement by the channel's creator. The art gallery can be a great place to find inspiration when you're running out of ideas. I have fond memories of going to the campus art museum in a beginning poetry class, walking among the paintings, and coming back to my desk with fresh ideas prompted by the insights of fellow artists. He also wanted to make sure that I stated clearly that Writing with Andrew has nothing to do with Quintilian Institute personnel matters. I can't really say why, but I did promise that I would make the statement nonetheless. But wait, there's even more, because, of course, poetry is not the only medium through which you can express your ekphrastic impulses. Imagine making a drawing of a sculpture, reframing or reinterpreting the original work in a new way. Consider making a short film inspired by another short film. Or even take a photograph of a poem to say something new. However you do it, ekphrasis is an artistic gift, and, as it turns out, it's also a restorative therapy for whenever you've been betrayed by your junior staff. Now, to those of you who have remained with us through it all, I offer my deepest thanks, and of course the sincerest apologies of our junior staffers who were, in fact, compelled to sign an apology to our audience before moving on to grimmer pastures. As we conclude, if there's a piece of art that inspires you, why not share your own ekphrastic haiku in the comments? While you do, I will also share one more ekphrastic haiku with you, this one hot off the press and inspired by today's presentation. Once again, it is simply called Return. Once betrayed, but see, director's ekphrastic tie, meadow of rebirth.